So last week I made a video talking about the biggest channels that are on YouTube right now, and I saw a comment on that video from Tom Squad saying, "All of the top kids channels are Russian. I don't for a second think their subs and view counts are real. I'm mostly convinced that they are money laundering operations." So I decided maybe I should take a deeper look into these channels. So there are 3 channels we're going to be looking at today: Like Nastya, Kids Diana Show, and Vlad and Niki. Now there's something that all 3 of these channels have in common. They're all categorized as being in the US. Each one is a channel of a Russian family recording their little kids, and just making general kid-friendly content for YouTube. To be honest, there's not a whole lot out of the ordinary about the content, but what's really strange about these channels is just how massive they are. So I'm going to be talking about average daily views a lot in this video. So when we think of big channels around YouTube, you know we have a lot of our favorite YouTubers. Well, if you take the daily view count of PewDiePie, MrBeast, Dude Perfect, Vanoss Gaming, Ninja, Dan TDM, Markiplier, James Charles, Jacksepticeye, Smosh, Jake Paul, Logan Paul, KSI, Emma Chamberlain, Lele Pons, David Dobrik, and Jenna Marbles, and added all of their daily view counts together, you would get roughly around 75 million views per day. Now that's 75 million views a day combined across all of those channels. Do you want to take a guess at how many views these Russian kids channels are getting right now? Well, before I give you the answer, you should know that each one of these 3 channels has like a long list of side channels for different languages. They mostly seem to be a lot of re-uploads, just in different languages, different titles. But obviously it's all the same content and it's all by the same people. But with that out of the way, Kids Diana Show and their multiple channels accumulates about 131 million views per day on their own. Like Nastya, 142 million views per day. And Vlad and Niki, right now, they are getting 165 million views every single day. So if you added up all of those YouTubers I mentioned, add up all of their daily views, they don't even get half of the views as this one single family just making home videos. Now going back to the comment where he says, "I'm mostly convinced that these are money laundering operations." Now I'm not saying that that's true or false, but I will say that it is very hard to prove. Also, you gotta love the description on this channel. "Salute, friends! I'm Diana, and this is my kids' channel, Kids Diana Show. Subscribe to me and you will see how interesting can be a childhood. Here you will see an interesting kids videos, toys unboxing, challenge, vlogs, funny playing with water. Water toys? My favorite cartoons, Masha the Bear, Fixiki, Paw Patrol, Peppa Pig, Shopkins, Hello Kitty, and other developing cartoons for children. I love to sculpt play before unpacking eggs with a surprise. I also walk a lot in the entertainment center, on the playground, in the kids' playroom. I'll show you a new entertainment for children, and the most interesting games, new toys. I will share with you the best moments of your life." Man, parts of this description make me think that the little kid actually wrote this, but it's probably just the language barrier. So this channel actually has over 50 million subscribers, and if you guys remember, of course YouTube has a lot of their benchmarks, and they give you like a certain plaque for every milestone that you reach with the subscribe count. So of course when you reach 100,000 you get the silver plaque, the 1 million gives you the gold plaque, 10 million gets you the diamond play button, and then to the very few that reach 50 million, you basically get a custom-made ruby play button. Well, it does mention that this channel has the 50 million subscriber reward. I did look through the catalog of their videos, and there is a video where they celebrate getting 50 million subscribers, and it has a ruby on the thumbnail, but looking through the video, I didn't see a custom-made one. The reason that I bring this up is that if this is some sort of shady channel that's getting ridiculous amounts of views and they're all fake or something like that, YouTube typically doesn't like to reward channels like that. So if these channels really are getting their ruby play button, then YouTube is fully aware of these channels and they are fully endorsing them. But like I said, I haven't quite seen any evidence either way. So I've also noticed that a lot of these kids channels, even the ones that seem foreign to the US, a lot of the times they will still put US as their country. And believe it or not, that does have an impact on the channel. So a while back I had a channel, and just jokingly I put the country as being in North Korea. But then when it came to monetizing the channel, it says monetization is not available in your country. So of course I had to change to the US, which isn't difficult. It makes me realize that if you are in the US, it probably has some sort of impact on your monetization potential, and possibly even the CPM you get for your videos. But there's still a good chance that a lot of these are filmed in the US anyway. So now let's look at what this content actually looks like. Now, I'm really no expert on kids content. I probably couldn't really tell you a good video from a bad one. They all just kind of seem like random nonsense to me. So it's really hard to say if there's anything different from these 50 million subscriber channels compared to maybe a 50,000 subscriber channel that looks exactly the same. So this is what you can expect when you look through their video catalog. I mean, on the surface it looks like a pretty generic kids channel, but then you look at these view counts. almost 1 billion views on some of these videos. So then you decide to click on it, and I mean, yeah, like I said, it's what you'd expect. It's just kids playing around. There's a lot of really weird editing going on around here. But obviously, comments are turned off on everything that's YouTube Kids related. But also, look at the number of likes and dislikes here. So, only 2.5 million likes. Like, okay, yeah, the little kids aren't bothering to hit the like button. I just think it's funny that there's so many dislikes on this. I just have to wonder, because, it's a pretty common thing whenever there's a really popular video. You have a lot of people that love to just, like, hate bomb anything that's much more popular than it should be. But it is strange that only about 1 in every 300 views actually leaves a like on these things. So let me sort of entertain the theory that this is some sort of money laundering scheme. So the way I would assume that would be actually taking place is that, so maybe they got a ton of money doing something illegally, and now they're trying to make it look like they're earning all of that money through YouTube views. And so maybe they're view-botting hundreds of millions of views to make it look like they're getting a ton of income from YouTube, when in reality it's just coming from some other source. I mean, something to kind of consider is that even if you have a channel that is getting this many views, they don't get to have targeted ads because of the whole COPPA thing. Meaning kids channels generally earn a lot less money per view than other types of content. And also, having an international audience, you get a lot less ad revenue from viewers from other countries. But yeah, whenever you jump between these different channels, they're all the same. They have a pretty poor like-to-dislike ratio. They all have millions of views. I mean, it's kind of hilarious when you think about it, because you have like these massive corporations that release some major music video of their big-name artist, and their video gets a few 100 million views. Like, alright, good job, you spent millions of dollars, and your investment paid off in this gigantic music video. And then they compete with these people. They're just like, yeah, we recorded a home video, edited it in a couple hours, and we got the same view count. We can get a few 100 million views doing that. So that kind of ties into another reason why I think this might not be real. And that's, okay, so when the average person looks at this, they say, wow, the channel like this is just doing amazing. Wow, they got lucky. They just decided to record home videos and they hit a home run, and now they're doing really well for themselves. However, there are a lot of people, corporations included, that when they see something like this, they think, all right, there's a lot of money to be made. We need to optimize this and compete with it, essentially. And so think about it. If you've got companies like Disney or Warner Brothers or just all of these massive media corporations, and they are seeing channels like this just pulling in billions of views, don't you think that they might try to compete with that or replicate it if it was really a big thing? I mean, I have a feeling that on a Disney budget, they could do this times 1,000 if they really wanted to. I don't know, it just seems like so much of this just doesn't add up. 137 million views just for another video that they put up one day. Now, in my last video, I also mentioned, and I know a lot of people will bring this up, it's pretty normal to assume that, like, oh yeah, it's just little kids that the parents give them an iPad, they give them a computer, they just sit it on autoplay all day, and the kids will just watch whatever comes up, and that's how they get so many views. And yeah, I definitely do believe that that's why a lot of kids' channels are as big as they are. But like I also mentioned, I have a hard time believing that people are just recording a few home videos, editing them together, and getting more views than most major media corporations. So something else I just noticed is that some of these channels have Facebook pages, and for a channel that has 60 million subscribers on YouTube, I feel like 40,000 likes on Facebook is not very high. Let's check out the Vlad and Niki one. Okay, also 92,000 likes on that one. I mean, this is pretty small, especially considering even 5 Minute Crafts has 60 million likes on their page. So I don't know if that means anything, but something to consider. And I mean, even their Instagram accounts, which are marketed on their channel, are barely breaking 100K in some instances. So I mean, I'm not saying that nobody watches these channels. I mean, clearly there are plenty of real people out there who do. What I'm really trying to figure out is, are there really hundreds of millions of people clicking on these videos? Now, of course, there is another channel that most people have heard of, and that is Cocomelon. And the reason I didn't include that one in this video is that one does seem like it has a lot of production quality to it. It does seem like it is just a full team of animators that put together these full-size cartoons. I mean, essentially it's just a new way of creating TV shows and movies, but for a YouTube platform. And so while that channel is also gaining over 100 million views a day, I guess it just feels a little bit more legitimate. So what do you guys think about this whole thing? Sorry I couldn't really go that in-depth with the information here. No matter where I look around the internet, nobody seems to be talking about this, which means there's not a lot of concrete evidence about anything here. So who knows, maybe if we can come together we can find something out. I'll gladly make a follow-up video if we ever figure out what's going on with them. But who knows, maybe they are just an international success. Maybe toddlers around the world are growing up looking up to these channels. Or maybe there's some grand conspiracy going on. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. I think we're off to a really good start with just analyzing YouTube. I think there's a lot of stuff hidden around this website. There are billions of videos in every language imaginable. And the stuff that you see on the homepage is just the tip of the iceberg. So keep those comments coming in about what you want me to talk about next, and I will see you guys next time.